Folks, this game kind of turned on a dime, didn't it? Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today's jank. We're going deep. We're going deep again, folks. Every now and then we like to do this. Where maybe the deck isn't overly practical, but hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing a little bit of reanimating, but believe me when I say this is unconventional reanimator. You'll note there are only 2 Unburial Rites here. What? Only 2? Why? Why are you playing reanimator with only 2 Unburial Rites? Well, because this is actually the backup plan. This is not our primary game plan. No. Our primary game plan is Command the Dreadhorde. Many of you may be familiar with this card because there was a deck for a little while that did this. 6 mana, sorcery. Choose any number of target creatures and or planeswalker cards in graveyards. Ours and the opponent's. Command the Dreadhorde deals damage to you equal to the total mana value of those cards. Put them onto the battlefield under your control. So, if we get back Toxrill for 7, a Serra's Emissary for 7, and a Elesh Norn for 7, of course the mana costs all added up, that's 21 damage that Command the Dreadhorde would deal to us, and we die. Bummer. But we have tech, folks. We have tech. Ethereal Escort. 3 mana, 3/3 lifelink. When Ethereal Escort enters the battlefield or attacks, choose a card in your hand. It perpetually gains lifelink. This does not say choose a creature card. You know, do what? No. Choose a card. So, as you well know, when damage is dealt, both the lifelink happens and the damage happens, so they cancel one another out. So, theoretically, we do that same scenario. We go from 20, take 21 damage from Command the Dreadhorde, but if we have previously given Command the Dreadhorde lifelink, we take 27, but gain 20, or we take 21, but gain 21 back immediately from Command the Dreadhorde, and therefore our life total doesn't change at all. We just reanimate a bunch of things from our bin, up to and including things from our opponent's bin as well, should the opportunity present itself. And, you know, we're no worse for wear from the exchange. In order to facilitate this combo, we have just a little bit of ramp. We have a few board sweepers, 6 of them to be precise. We also have some ways of getting things into our bin from our library. We milling cards with Stitch Supplier, Mire Tritons, and a couple of ways of discarding things from our hand should we draw into these. We can also backup plan, just hard cast our threats if the game goes long. And similarly, if we do a lot of milling ourselves over and over and over, sometimes being able to mill an Unburial Rites into the bin is just a good plan, and we can get back Serra's Emissary or Elesh Norn to stay in the game, that sort of thing. Maybe Toxrill to sweep the board. Will it work? I don't know. So, we're going to be taking this one into the play queue because that we're going deep. But we're gonna give it a try and hopefully have a great time while we're doing it. So come on, let's go see how it goes. All right, folks, here we are up against R now, and yeah, okay, we have the combo in hand. We just got to be able to draw enough lands to get there. So you know, we're gonna try it. What can I say? Opponent. Okay, we Stitch Supplier. Mill over an Elesh Norn. Okay. Like, that gives us a target for reanimation stuff. Hey, our opponent started on Mountain. So they're either on some kind of, like, Goblins build, or they're likely on Mono Red. So Mire Triton and lifelinking stuff is generically good against Mono Red. Admittedly, we're kind of slow. So who knows? But, opponent. All right. We're going to go ahead and attack. And play a Mire Triton. Don't mind if I do. Gain a couple of life, up to 22. Opponent shocks it. It's alright. We mill over 2 lands. That's not ideal. We wanted to draw some of these here. Alright, well, we got one. So, Ethereal Escort. Don't mind if I do. Right? Our opponent being very, very deliberate here. Good heavens. We're going to attack for 1. Pass turn back over to our now. Opponent did not remove Ethereal Escort on their turn. They really don't want us to hit with a 3/3 lifelink. I can tell you that right now. Sure enough, Lightning Strike kills it. Opponent down to 5 cards in hand. Hey, interesting. Well, we're going to go ahead and attack for 1. Godless Shrine. Ethereal Escort. We're going to give Bone Shards lifelink because, you know, you never know. You never know. And our now, thinking about things, plays a Mountain and Rekindling Phoenix. That's not what we were expecting there. All right, so we're gonna do this because we're kind of expecting our opponent to block. And if they do, we can sacrifice the Stitcher Supplier to the Bone Shards and kill off the token. Yeah, this is not surprising. Sacrifice a creature. Stitcher Supplier. Send over a Command the Dreadhorde. All right. Another Rekindling Phoenix. That's not ideal. All right, well, Mire Triton. Pitching over another Mire Triton and a Toxrill. We go to 27. Opponent, 4 cards in hand. Rekindling Phoenix gets in. We drop to 23. Land. Terror of the Peaks. Good heavens. Oh, folks, we really needed a land there. Holy crud. Mill over 2 board sweepers. All right. There's no way they block here, but it's not like holding it back is going to help anything. Please, deck, don't... Yeah, don't mess us up here. All right. Opponent Bone Crushes a Mire Triton, sure. And then casts a Bone Crusher Giant. 4 damage, kills another Mire Triton. Opponent gets in for 9, down to 16. No, folks, come on. We really need a land here. Please, Dak, don't be like this. Life doesn't got to be like this. Life doesn't got to be like this. Sorry, that was some POD for all of you metal fans. Come on, baby. Don't be rude. Annex Hardened in the Forge, folks. That's going to give them a billion creatures. Phoenix of Ash. Wait, are we dead now? We are. Come on, deck. Almost beat them on a red deck. Oh, well. GG. Darn it. So close. GG, opponent. GG. All right, folks. We're up against Xyrus on the draw. This is not a great hand, but I think we are going to keep it. We at least have half the combo with the Ethereal Absolution hand. We do need to draw some lands, but be able to foretell the Doomskar next turn. Oh, crud, they're on Gates. Oh, no. This hand is abysmal against Gates. All right. Well, let's hope we draw well, I guess. Get lucky or go home, as they say. All right, Gatebreaker Ram. Stitcher Supplier going to come on down, mill us over a few cards. Do not get a reanimation spell. Is it Guildgate comes down. Gatebreaker Ram crashes in. We're going to block. Drop to 16. Mill over some lands and a Mire Triton. And we get the turn back. Well, that's not great. Stitcher Supplier, come on in. Mill over 3 more cards. Still no. Nothing. None of this are the things that we want. We have no reanimation threats in the graveyard. And we have no reanimation spells in the graveyard. So, we're gonna keep doing what we're supposed to do here. Holy crud. This is all bad. Just the whole thing, very bad. So I guess Day of Judgment. And have patience. Okay, well. Stitch Supplier, number 3, sorry. And more things. Alright, well, I guess let's Ethereal Escort. Making Serra's Emissary lifelink. Opponent opens the gates. Finds a gate card, can put it into the hand. It's a Azorius Guildgate. And gates ablaze. Mill some more. Please, reanimation spell. Well, or at least we got reanimation targets. So we would really like our, you know, one of our Unburial Rites to go to the bin. That doesn't actually happen. Half of our deck in the graveyard, almost. Gate Colossus comes down. Can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. Unfortunately, that's what we've got here. So we're going to try and get in. I assume they do not block. They do not. All right. Well. Wrath of God. Do your thing. Archway Angel. Going to gain some life. Up to 31. Yep. I guess we're going to Foretell. I think we can take the 3 here. We're kind of expecting Gate Colossus to be coming back at us. Yep. Sure, we take 3 down to 11. Well, okay. We do get a Godless Shrine. That much is good. We need 2 more mana sources to get up to these. Gate Colossus does indeed make it to the battlefield. 3 damage comes out. We drop to 8. Well, Ethereal Escort is not the end of the world. Doomskar happens. Taking the can down the road here. And Unburial Rites, that's a good one. So, Unburial Rites on Serra's Emissary? For sorcery? So that the Gates Blaze doesn't kill it. Normally they don't run a lot of other interaction. Could run maybe some conventional Day of Judgments or something, though. Opponent has another Gate Colossus. Not super great. Command the Dreadhorde. Well, folks, that part's not bad. So, Ethereal not Ethereal Absolution. I have cast a lot of that card, folks, as you can tell. Ethereal Escort. So we're actually going to hang back here. Guild Summit from our opponent. Drawing some cards. 2 mana remain. Open. Yep. Land draws a card. It's a Gate Colossus. Opponent casts a Gate Colossus, unsurprisingly. And open the gates. Happens. It's an Azorius Guildgate. And they come in. So we're going to go ahead and trade a Serra's Emissary for an Ethereal Escort. And we get it. Command the Dreadhorde. Wait. Let's see. We can do a little bit of this. How many cards are in our graveyard? Or, yeah, we've got... Alright. So I guess we can do just a little bit. I guess not the Stitcher Supplier then, right? We'll get the Mire Tritons, because that actually net gains us life. Sure. Alright. And protection from sorceries. Okay. Choose a card in our hand, Toxrill. Choose a card in our hand, Serra's Emissary. Choose a card in our hand, Serra's Emissary. And no attacks. Slime counter goes on Gate Colossus. We're doing it, folks. Fairy Hero of Dominaria. No, they're gonna tuck our Serra's Emissary. And then Gates ablaze. Oh. Oh. Well, actually, that wouldn't have mattered anyway. Because they were Cleansing Nova. That doesn't give protection, you know? Alright. Gate Colossus comes down. All right, well, we can shock that in. And we're going to give protection from sorceries again. Because our opponent clearly thinks that that means protection from board sweepers. We wanted to get protection from creatures, but we can actually take a hit here and if they have the Gates Ablaze, which they're certainly running 4, and they're, you know, they've gone through half their deck, only used 1. So, yep. Sure. Well, that's a land. So we are going to go protection from creatures here. And I guess we do need to kill Teferi because that's bad. Well, and yeah, I mean, I guess. Whatever. If they can get through, we're just dead anyway. So, all right. Protection from creatures, protection from sorceries. I mean, sure. We'll gain 7 life there. Appreciate you. Very kind. Hey, and so actually we need to hold on to this, don't we? So yeah, I guess we're gonna do that. And you know, I mean, if they have a way out of this, they have a way out of this. It's possible maybe I was supposed to put down another one protection from creatures so they couldn't just get another Teferi and tuck our protection from creatures. Because we are still dead if they tuck our protection from creatures. Or otherwise remove our protection from creatures, I should say. Alright, Hydroid Crisis. Drawing a bunch of magical cards. And we're going to go ahead and draw one ourselves at the cost of 3 life. Okay. And there goes Great Gates Ablaze. Yeah, baby! Unburial Rites on Elesh Norn. That's right. And, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. Holy cow. That was a wild one. That was a wild one indeed. GG, Cyrus. GG. All right, folks. We are up against D Penguin. Sorry about that. Didn't get the thing going there in time. My bad. But opponent leads on Deserted Beach tapped. We're going to keep this. And I think we're going to follow suit, except we're going to go with Godless Shrine tapped. Go ahead and pass the turn. Opponent has a Charming Prince, doing a little bit of scrying. And the scry goes. Top. Good heavens, that's not good. Oh boy. That is marginally terrifying. But Mire Triton sends over a Day of Judgment and an Elesh Norn. We definitely are glad to have the Elesh Norn. Oh boy, Captain Eberhard comes down. Gilded Goose comes down, creates a food token. Charming Prince attacks? No, does not. So we're going to go ahead and Mire Triton, gain a couple of life, mill over. An Ethereal Escort. That is one of our key combo pieces. So we're sad to see it go, but that doesn't mean it's gone forever. I'm gonna go ahead and hang on. Grizzled Huntmaster makes it to the battlefield. Exiles, I didn't see what it was. Oh, Mirror Image. Oh, crud. And what do you get? Alright. Opponent comes out with an Elite Spellbinder. Inconvenient. What do you choose, opponent? Unburial Rites or Command the Dreadhorde? It is Unburial Rites, unsurprisingly. It does come down sooner. You know what? Fine. No, fine. Don't really... Yeah, I mean, we're not terrified by any means, but we also... You know, we have a lot of board sweepers. On the Elite Spellbinder, gonna take our Command the Dreadhorde? Darn you. It's not very nice. Okay. But we will want to be able to trade with Grizzled Huntmaster at the very least, eventually. We do want to draw a board sweeper, though. We do want to draw a board sweeper, though. Darn you, deck. Come on. We have roughly 25 bajillion in here. Couple of Doomskars, couple of Wrath of Gods. Did we mill over a Day of Judgment? We did. So we only have one Day of Judgment, but... Alright. Drop to 9. Running out of time. Come on, deck. Alright. Gilded Goose creates food. Gilded Goose creates a food. We can Serra's Emissary if we can survive this turn. Opponent gets in, gets in. Gets in. Gets in, gets in. Alright. We block. We block. Drop to 8. Drop to 1. And... Opponent? Grizzled Huntmasters. Or nothing. And... we make a land drop. Do we just go protection from creatures or get back Elesh Norn? Elesh Norn sweeps away almost everything not named Grizzled Hunt, or, you know, everything except for Grizzled Huntmaster. Yeah, alright. We're gonna do this because one draw step, they've got to have a bounce spell or something. But a bounce spell would also get rid of Elesh Norn, and since we're at 1, you know, we just die, right? Alright. Unburial Rites on Elesh Norn. Our Serra's Emissary now a 9/9, going to go ahead and get in. Folks, this game kind of turned on a dime, didn't it? And opponent draws into an Elite Spellbinder. It immediately goes to the bin. But, you know, that's got to be disappointing. So, combat. Does our opponent choose to live by chump blocking? He could also just crack a food. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to choose to Mind Stone and Mire Triton then. And pass the turn. So now just bouncing the Serra's Emissary or something, you know, like that doesn't really solve anything. Gilded Goose coming down. Immediately dies, creates a food. Opponent can gain 6 life here, which is not enough for the Serra's Emissary. So GG, opponent, GG. All right, folks, we are back. We are back. And what did we learn? Well, we had a great time. I learned, the primary thing that I learned was to make sure once you've clicked the record button that it actually starts recording. I tried, this is actually the 3rd try at recording this video because the first time I just plain forgot to hit the record button. The second try is for whatever reason, my primary monitor is over here and I'm using MTGA. But if I click over into the other monitor, it doesn't always register the click until I click again, right? Because the first click just recognizes you're using that monitor or something. I don't really know. I'm not a computer dude. But so I clicked the record button the second time. It just didn't register the click. This is actually the 3rd time recording videos. On the whole, the first recording I got 3 games deep before realizing I wasn't recording. I went 1 and 3, or I'm sorry, 1 and 2. So I won 1, lost 2 out of those 3 games. The win, I really wish you guys could have saw it. It was against Grixis Control. It was really, really fun. We went off, we did our thing. It all went great. And you missed it. I even got back a Nicol Bolas with the Dreadhorde, Command the Dreadhorde, and their Planeswalker, and just did cool things. It wasn't recorded, so you don't get to see it. The next time, I went 2 games deep before I realized I wasn't recording. I won 1 and lost 1. So up until the videos I actually got recorded, I was actually 1 game south of 50%, which for this deck is kind of an achievement, I think. That said, in this video, we were able to record a couple of wins and a loss. So It turns out the deck, through however many games that is, 8 games, was exactly 50%. We went 4 and 4. It did go off more often than I expected it to. We were, this is kind of a little sketchy, hoping for these things to collide in the proper sequencing and all that kind of stuff is inconvenient. But, it was fine. The deck did well. What things might I do to change? Well, maybe some more Bone Shards so we can more easily discard our threats. Maybe some more Unburial Rites so the backup plan is easier. We did end up hardcasting our stuff more often than I kind of would have liked. So I'm not sure. It's quite possible we just needed our backup plan to be more robust, right? It's also possible maybe the Mind Stones was hedging the wrong way. Maybe these just should be Unburial Rites and forget ramping to Command the Dreadhorde. Primary game plan, Unburial Rites. Secondary game plan, Command the Dreadhorde. You might just win more games that way, right? As far as the board sweeping plan, I don't know. We ended up not drawing them on the regular for whatever reason. I mean, there's 6. There's quite a few. We should be getting at least 1 every game, but it was weird. I don't know. But on the whole, it did do fine. So I would not discourage it if you happen to have a bunch of these cards laying around. The Unburial Rites, the actual reanimation style package, can obviously go in a number of different decks. If you've already, maybe if you had the Commander Dreadhorde deck from way back when, you might just have some of these things. And of course, any number of threats to reanimate seems like a reasonable thing to do. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily discourage it. I don't really know if it's going to be good enough for actual historic unless we, are more all in on making sure Unburial Rites is the primary game plan, because Command the Dreadhorde is kind of slow. But it was fun. I had a great time. I would encourage it. That said, without further ado, you folks have a fantastic evening, and I will catch you all next time. Good.